Hi, this is Shannon. I'm going to show you how to build a rocket stove. There are many videos on YouTube that will show you how to build one. However, I'm going to put a little twist on it by turning it into a glove heater slash boot warmer, hand warmer for the outdoorsy type that might ice fish or sled or something like that. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through the basic tools you're going to need for this project. Keep in mind that there's always a little different way you can do things, but you're going to need a tape measure, potentially need a hammer, screwdriver, 3 soup cans like Campbell soup or something like that, a number 10 can. This one was a can of corn that I bought at Kroger's for about $4. You'll need angled tin snips, whichever way you prefer to cut, left or right. Buy the appropriate pair. Straight snips. Oh, those are scissors. Straight snips. A marker for marking the can, as pens and pencils will not do. Potentially need a utility knife, and certainly need a can opener. Also, one of the most important things that you can forgot to add this, a good set of gloves. When you're working with this thin metal, it is very easy to cut you deep, requiring stitches. So make sure you have a good set of gloves on when you're handling the metal. Most importantly, as I said, there is plenty of videos on YouTube that will address how to fab one of these up. I'll run you through the broad strokes really quick. What you're going to do is you're going to take 3 soup cans. Set the camera down here. You're going to take 3 soup cans. You're going to cut the top and bottom out of 2 of them. You're going to leave the bottom in this one here. And what you'll end up doing is using the top of one of the cans to make a template out of cardboard or something like that, as I've made here. And a straight edge of some sort to mark your can so you can get good center lines. And what you'll end up doing is cutting a hole in the number 10 can, as well as cutting a hole in the soup can, as seen here. Then you'll end up cutting this top can right here. I'll take that out for you. You'll cut this one straight down the top, because straight down the side, I mean, because what you'll end up doing is actually just folding it together, stuffing it back in there. So, just so you have a bird's eye view and can see how it all gets assembled, I will show it in the light. Can A goes into can B. Can B has the bottom still intact. Can A is all the way through. This here is the lid. The lid will end up going on top of here, securing the chimney, so to speak. And inside this can, change hands here. What essentially will happen is this can will go in here, come out through here. In between that, you're going to take some vermiculite, which I didn't list as a supply you need, so make sure you get that. Vermiculite is the insulator, so you'll put vermiculite in the bottom, make sure this is seated well into it, fill it up around the sides. Let me show you in there. So in the voids around your stove or chimney, you'll fill that with vermiculite, add your chimney inside. I'm going to do this to where this ends up flush with the top of this, and then I'm going to cut some little slots here to allow airflow, and it will also be a rest if I want to use it for like cooking or something like that, heating hot water. So the rocket stove is a great survival tool. It can keep you warm. It burns extremely hot, so this whole hand heater glove warmer is going to be an experiment. I'll assemble that later. Hopefully you got the idea. If not, you can refer to other videos on YouTube to figure out how exactly to build one from start to finish. All right, we are looking at about 10 minutes in and water almost boiling. Probably could have been a little sooner. However, you got to keep up on pushing that wood in. Use a stick or something, but these are fairly long, so I'll push those right in there. They throw out a lot of heat, that's for sure. Take a look in that burn chamber. Just glowing. And it's official, we have boiling water. Okay, so phase 2 of the operation. We are going to cut this ductwork in half. We're going to use this T and essentially just make a big T. Then we're going to use this 2x4 right here. Quite long. And we are going to also, missed a step here, we're going to use this furnace cement to seal the ductwork at the T right here where we make our cuts. Put it all together. Then use 2x4 to make a stand, so to speak. We'll suspend that over the rocket stove, and then we're going to fire up the rocket stove, see how hot it gets, and then determine whether we need to raise it, lower it, to accomplish our goals of making like a glove warmer, boot warmer, etc. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this up, fab it up, and be back with you shortly. Okay, so we have now fabbed up our ductwork. You see I've got a T here, 2 pieces of vent. One side is slightly longer than the other because I had a little bit of I damaged part of the pipe when I was cutting it, so I had to cut that piece off. Anyway, it should work fine. So what we're going to do here is we're going to light up the rocket stove, place it underneath the T, and I don't think I mentioned this earlier. I am using B-vent, which is essentially a duct inside of a duct. So that should shield the outside from getting too hot. However, I'm obviously trying to get it warm enough to, dry out gloves or, things like that without getting it so hot it melts them. So we're going to light this stove up. I'll try and get this done with the camera on here. And also in the stove, you can see this here, I've just threw some little loose pieces of scrap, and down in there I've got regular old dryer lint. Dryer lint is some of the best kindling because it burns for a good while and gets wood caught on fire. With these rocket stoves, you really don't need that good of kindling because they're so efficient and burn so well anyway. But anyway, we're going to light this up, and give me just 1 second here. Just using a longer paper. There we go. Okay, here we have it. The beauty of building something like this is trial and error, seeing what works, what doesn't. What I found out was the initial build, I thought I would need a little more, I thought I would need more heat loss, so I didn't want to connect the rocket stove to the actual ductwork. I kind of wanted it to heat the air through the ductwork and warm it up, but not get it too hot. What I found out was, A, that the ductwork was, having it 4 inches apart or whatever I had it there was too far away, at least for B-vent, which is insulated. So what I ended up doing was propping it up on some boards and bricks to get it close. Added another soup can to extend the chimney, getting the fire right up to the T. And that got the pipe nice and warm. Matter of fact, a little too hot. That piece of ductwork started to melt. Again, I didn't intend to use duct tape, but I wanted to see what worked first, and then There's other methods to seal ductwork. Down on this end here, it is warm, but not so hot that I can't actually touch it. You know, I got my hand right on there. Obviously, I'm not saying that that would be the smart thing to do, but just to give you an idea temperature-wise, I'd say it's, you know, around 100 degrees, maybe a little more. Good, you've got good warm air coming out of here. And same on the other side, actually a little warmer here. Ductwork, again, you can touch it. But you got to be careful with that, and that wasn't the intended use, was to grab onto metal ductwork that's getting heated by a fire. The idea was, hey, could I lay my gloves on it, warm them up, things like that. If you're out ice fishing, get your hands wet or your gloves wet, you know, things like that. So it does work. The design needs to be perfected. What I would probably do on a second trial, which I will update YouTube when I do it, I would probably not use B-vent. I would extend it up with some other ductwork to give it enough heat, but also keep it far enough so that the ductwork isn't getting overheated, and use better ductwork. Again, not using B-vent. I just couldn't get a good seal after I cut it. I damaged too much of the pipe. Couldn't get them to go together properly. So I would normally, or I shouldn't say normally, I guess I would use better ductwork, single wall, and extend the chimney higher to the T, however keeping it, you know, a little bit farther away from the flame. Thanks for watching, and I will update you as we make progress on this design.